Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk, where we have unfiltered, uncensored, uncomfortable conversation.
You on mute. You still on mute. There you go.
Man, usually I don't even have this thing on mute. Now I got to start over. All right. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about band, HBCU band culture, music education, and more. Let me go ahead and introduce the panel. On my right, we got Portia. And under Portia, we got Maya. All right. Well, obviously, I'm Jay Luke. Anyway, a lot has happened in this past week, and I'm gonna talk about it. Well, let's do it this way. Portia, anything band music related happened to you this past week?
Not to me. While I was on vacation, I did look at some footage. I looked at some of the footage you posted. I don't know if that was the same footage. Who was at the battle you were at?
Georgia and New Orleans.
Then that was the same one. Georgia had the flags.
New Orleans had the flags.
New Orleans had the flags. Okay, I saw that. I knew somebody did. I couldn't remember who. And then there was a battle of the bands that took place over the weekend between Eastern and I can't remember the name of the school from Georgia. So shout out to James Perry and Eastern. That was a good battle. A lot of back and forth. So I watched that while I was on kind of my vacation. So that's it.
All right, cool. Maya, what about yourself? Anything that then went down, music, band, or anything the like? I know you still got that moving stuff going on.
I know, and it's terrible. Yes, I watched the footage too, but also I cannot get over Usher's Tiny Desk performance.
Listen, and that's not new, is it?
Yes,
it's new.
Yeah. Oh no,
it's a new Tiny Desk performance. Yes, I like the performance. Yes, but I think people are gassing it. It was just Usher. It wasn't bad. It was good. I think it's over.
You want to know why people are so hype about it?
Why?
Because that last verses was trash can juice. So people are excited about somebody who has some vocal abilities. That's why. I'm
gonna be superiorly honest. I have given up on verses, so I ain't watched the verses.
No, this Usher Chris Brown one, I got hope.
Oh, that's real?
Actually going to happen?
That's a thing.
Oh, I thought it was a joke. Yeah,
I thought it was. No, that's a thing. I don't think they picked a date yet, but from my understanding, that's a thing.
I think the last verses that I watched was the Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind and Fire?
Yeah,
that was the last one I watched.
Well, I haven't. I think that's the only one that I watched. But I knew when they started bringing out openers, like it was a real concert. It wasn't for me because no.
But I mean, between the Tiny Desk and Essence, I just didn't have me a grand old time. I've been having a great time at home.
So let me go
right
ahead
there in the front row.
So since you brought up Essence, let me go ahead and really dive into this thing for a second. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I don't know where Quan is. I don't know where Quan is. But I wanted to talk to him about this too. But
he might be still recovering.
Okay.
Because it look like y'all
hadn't been to New Orleans. Okay.
So that let me go into the whole story. I'm gonna go ahead and get a full spiel for y'all and the whole audience. So what happened was, as you all know, the plan was for myself, Actually, I was supposed to do so Maya, you were actually right. There was one in Dallas that happened on the same date.
Oh, okay.
But I made the decision to go to the New Orleans one in the last minute.
Gotcha.
So we went to the New Orleans one, and I booked the hotel. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be super dope. Not thinking what weekend this was.
Mm-hmm.
And so I landed. I got the hotel, and we got the hotel off of Canal Street, bro. And me and my wife landed in the middle of the Essence Festival, and we were just like, yo. So
how awesome is that though?
Yeah,
like you didn't even try.
I didn't try, and it was super dope, man. When
it
we
was
got
smack dab in the middle of that thing.
Well, here's the crazy thing. You know how you drive to like a long distance, and you have like your driving clothes on. So I
hopped out the car, wasn't ready,
bro. I told her, I was like, yo, I'm about to go check in the hotel. So I went in the hotel, and the registration was on the 11th floor. And so I went up to the 11th floor, and I see, man, brothers and them nice little seersucker suits and them white what you call it, all white daddies with the little linen daddies, and the DJ is playing, and I'm up here in some phony sweats and a sweaty shirt coming out. I was like, good Lord, man, I done smitted myself. But after that, man, me and the wife went out on Bourbon Street. Look, I didn't gain, I can tell you, about 20 pounds.
Man.
We went to this dope place, Mama E-Eyes, and bro, she fed us so good. Oh my God. Oh Lord. I got
a list of places I just go when I'm in New Orleans, and what diet and calories.
It wasn't no diet. Like real talk, me and the wife don't eat chicken. I mean, we eat chicken and fish, and we don't eat beef or pork. That went out the window real quick.
I was gonna say, in New Orleans, how long was you gonna was you gonna last?
That didn't happen.
Because that stuff is in everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then on top of that, I got to bring him in while I say this. We went to Mother's Family Restaurant. So we ain't seen Rick in forever. He looked like he been in some drum corps life. What up, bro?
What's going on?
We good, man. So I'm about to do this rundown of the New Orleans situation. So as you know, me and Quan went to the Georgia Mass Band and the New Orleans All-Star Band battle. And first of all, shout out to Robin. I was trying to catch up with her. I didn't get a chance to catch up with her. She hollered at us for like a quick second, and then she tipped off because she had to go do some work. But first of all, me and Quan saw a lot of people there. Shout out to all the camera dudes that we usually see or talk to. Killer Kev. I know Justin was, bro. I know he's watching right now. Justin is a lot taller than I thought he was. Justin tall, bro. I didn't know Justin was that tall, man. But he was there. The Edge was there, so everybody was out there, man. So I can tell you off bat, as soon as we walked in, I definitely feel that energy and the vibe that everybody was talking about. And shout out to Deontay Kennedy. We got a chance to chop it up with him for a little second. But that energy that has been consistently talked about every time that we've had these mass band conversations, that energy is real. I'm not even gonna lie to you. As soon as we walked in there, bro, it was like energy off the top, off the rip. And it almost kind of took me back to almost like real talk, like high school days. Back in the day when we would be like in Galveston or something, having a battle between two different bands and everybody's hype. Like that's kind of the energy that I had when walking into there. I will say this though, and I know that me and Quan were going to talk about it, but I will say this: with good there is bad. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Some of the things that we have discussed on the show are some of the things that we saw happening. Now, that's not necessarily saying that was happening with the bands per se. So I want to make sure I make that very clear. I'm not saying that these things were happening with the bands, but what I will say is there was a lot of green smoking happen out there. It was some folks walking around with some full bottles, not even in the styrofoam cup daddy, like full bottles and drinking from it. Now, I'm not saying, once again, that that's what happened with the bands, but I will say that you still have to be mindful of the people and the energy that you attract. So those were what was happening with some of the spectators that I was seeing, and realizing that there were still kids as spectators out there, and there were kids as performers out there who were all engulfed in this energy. So, like I said, I'm not gonna say the good without saying the bad. Now let's talk about the bands real quick. First of all, there's this thing that's going around that everybody is saying that Georgia won. Now, if we're just talking about pure loudness and energy and blah, 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 I probably would say that. But in my personal opinion, I don't feel like Georgia won at all. And I will also say that being in that space live is different than when you hear it on video. When I go back and hear it and listen to it on video, I don't hear the same thing on the video that I saw live. Georgia was super, super low brass heavy. As a matter of fact, probably some damn good musicians in that low brass section, from trombone to euphonium to tubas. Mellophone and trumpet left very much to be desired. New Orleans, I will say this, had a more complete sound for me. I could hear every section, and it wasn't every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds, the mellophone wasn't trying to reach for unnecessary notes. Did it happen a few times in New Orleans? Absolutely. But I will say that it didn't happen the whole time. There was a few songs, I think it was one song, I can't remember what song it was, that I was just really not happy with as far as New Orleans playing it, their attempt on playing it. So I will say that that was the thing that brought me down. So in my personal opinion, I believe that New Orleans was the better band. Let me say that. All right. Now, off that, when it comes to musicianship and musicality and all those things that we hold dear, I am going to say that I'm going to stand firm on the things that we said, that in most cases it just doesn't exist. It's about loud and being louder and being the loudest. Articulation across the board was just not the same. Attacks and releases were not good, especially in the trumpet section, more or less in the Georgia side than the New Orleans side. It just kept being these one or two trumpets that just for some reason they felt the need to continue hanging on 3 and 4 and 5 measures after the band cut off. So when it comes to that, I think I'm going to continue to stay with what I said and what we typically feel as far as the musicianship. But then again, as we said, I guess it's not about that. Yeah. But then there's another thing that I realized too. As I said before on our last mass band show, there's a difference in culture. Our ideas and thought processes on how we perceive culture is different. And I will say that ain't my culture. And I'm okay with saying that. You know, would I go to another mass band performance? Maybe. Would I stay there the whole time? Absolutely not. Here's the reason why. Because there is a field show portion and a stands portion, which I don't understand the point of the field show and the stands portion if there's nothing different happening on the field than there's happening in the stands. Y'all just cranking up both times. So I didn't understand the whole point of that. And then it's like exceptionally long. If I'm not mistaken, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I think Justin, you can correct me if I'm wrong. There were 10 rounds in the stands. So, and I think it was like 4 or 5 rounds, or I think it was 4 or 5 rounds on the field. So I just didn't get the point of 14 rounds in total of just going back and forth. Like there was no, and we say this, you know, a couple of times, there was no like real field show. So I just didn't understand why you didn't start in the stands and just play in the stands the whole time, or start on the field and play in the field the whole time. And maybe that answer can get answered as we move forward. But I realize that that's just not, my culture, in the sense of I need more to be able to, gravitate to me. And that doesn't mean I didn't appreciate it, but I will say that I need more than just the crank up the whole time. So I think I covered everything. If I didn't, then I will interject every so often. All right. Oh, okay. I see that, Lamik. All right. Portia, any thoughts? I know you said you watched it, but any thoughts you got?
I'm glad you said that. I mean, because from the video, on a couple of back and forths, I thought Georgia sounded better, but that might have been the video. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, you just gave me some information, some insight from being there. I was happy to see the flags. Justin, I got some questions about them though, so hit me up, hit my line. But yeah, I was happy to see that's twice, 2 bands with the flags. Come on,
Yeah, me and Quan said that when we saw them, we was like, oh shoot. So I don't know if they always had them or they added.
I ain't never seen them before now, and I've watched a couple of performances. So I was like, oh, okay, this is new. So yeah.
Yeah, I thought I really was like excited because we was like, yo, we done had this conversation. They done add flags to them. That's what's up.
I had never seen them, so to me that was an addition.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Up to them.
Maya, any thoughts? Anything?
So yeah, I too am glad that you added the tidbit in. Of course, things are always different in person as opposed to watching it secondhand or via social media. Because I was prepared to say, when I turned on the clips, I was prepared to say, now we got to talk about some things. Because just the look of the thing in general, and I'm going to go more so into the auxiliary side of it. I was prepared to say I would have taken Fleur de Lis. That was, I believe that's in a New Orleans All-Stars band. That's their dancers. I would have taken Fleur de Lis with Georgia's band and put Georgia's, I think they were Jules, possibly, I'm not sure, don't quote me, with New Orleans. Just based off of the clips that I saw. Now, of course, say what you want, or however, just in general, the whole picture of the thing. Actually, I would have liked to see flags on both sides, of course, to kind of, help configure everything together. But if we're just talking about dances alone, I'm so sorry. But Fleur de Lis packed them babies on up and took them to the house.
From the beginning.
From the rooter to the tutor, okay?
From the word go. That first set of ripples, I said, ooh, this shit over.
It's going to be a long one.
It's over.
I don't know what they got going on, sponsorships and whomever, but somebody's doing something right. Now, I do have a couple of things that I saw kind of went a little bit wrong. We got very, very, very battle heavy, but again, I tried to take my glasses off and just take it for,
what it was.
Take it at base level. When it came to some of the little, like, not necessarily the counts, but just over the interactions, I saw, I forget his name, who served as the captain on Georgia's side. He did something where he was like yawning. He did something where he was falling asleep. He did something where he like went up the back. I don't know if he was like saying like, y'all shit. Like, I don't know, but it got a little obscene in that regard. But, that's to be expected. Again, let me take my glasses off and just have at it for what it is. But overall, Fleur de Lis came and did what they had to do for the most part.
So let me, and I want to make sure I say this. The energies is different. It's just it is super different. Like it's literally everybody's out there talking like literally. They don't. If you suck, they're lit outside saying you suck. So like you are trying to, in all forms, outdo the next person, whatever that takes, and everybody's hyping that up. You know what I'm saying? And we were on the field, we weren't in the stand, so we were right in the action. And I made it a point. I specifically just kind of stood back. I didn't want to be directly inside of the crowd because I just wanted to observe it from, you know, my standpoint. What I'm telling you is, and I get what you're saying, Maya, but like I said, that energy is just so different that it's funny to say this and it's weird to say this at the same time. It's a level of disrespect in a room of respect. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's like I'm trying to one up you in whatever way that I can. And so I know what you're saying. I know what you're talking about because I found it very interesting. And there were a lot of times during the tuba breaks, the cymbals were crossing over to the other side, coming to the Georgia side, and then like it was a lot going on. But like I said, I just think it's just a different energy. I think it's a different feel, a different character. And I will say that I get the fact that I get the fact why people, I guess, hold it the way they do. Just because if you are someone who is super ingrained in that whole thing, that's what you're used to. That's what you enjoy. It really is a let your nuts hang and just have fun. That's really what
I think my only concern with that is that it didn't help you. You still got dragged. Like they still dragged you. You did all of that and got disrespectful and you still got dragged. Like to me, it you didn't one up anybody by doing all of that.
Well, I think that's based on opinion, I guess. I mean, at the end of the day, man, I don't know. I can't answer that one. Rick, I know you got some thoughts, bro. So Rick, I'm gonna let you get your thoughts in, and then after that, I'm gonna bring in Justin because I know he's got some thoughts too, man.
You can go ahead and bring Justin in. I'll wait.
Okay. I know you're gonna reserve your thoughts. So let's go ahead and bring in Justin. First of all, hey man, I will say this before Justin gets to talking. Between him and Killer Kev, I think y'all were the hardest working cameraman I saw. Because I know there were a lot of people who just had their joints just kind of stationary and just they were recording from a specific angle. Y'all boys had camera running in front of camera, running in front of people, getting this. Man, I seen Justin and Killer Kev, man, they walked back to their area so many times to get something new to walk back up, man. And so I definitely give much respect to y'all brothers, man. Y'all be on it, man. Hey man, I don't know what y'all be having some coffee or some 5-hour energy side to something, bro. But definitely y'all was working y'all ass off, man. But what you got, bro? You on mute.
Oh yeah, the hardest part of that is you got to take a picture with every kid you see in between that. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know, man. But I'm really thank y'all for coming, man. Like when I seen you in town, you said something, boy. It got almost like 400 shares on my story. I wanted to send it to you, but I was so crazy when you was like when you put the camera on the second line performance and you was like it's ingrained in their culture. I'm gonna see if I can save it from my story. And that's a voiceover. You said a lot for people that was in town and it was Essence Fest weekend. So when you explained that, which was crazy, that all of those kids that was out there was in our band the next day. That was the crazy part about it.
And that's the truth. And I want to make sure I say it on here too, right? So I was having a conversation with Mario, I want to say maybe right before we left. And that was literally the conversation that we had. And I went down there to experience it myself. Listen, this music thing, and we always talk about this music thing, when it comes to the culture of New Orleans, is different. We are literally taught this thing. They are born in this. Like, that is what they are. When they're born, they get a trumpet, some sticks, a euphonium, or something put in their hands. And that is the culture. It is 100% ingrained. You go down Bourbon Street, it's 50 different people on the street playing on some buckets, playing some trumpet, doing something. But then you have around the world who people try to imitate and emulate that because of the fact that that's what they see. That's different than that's what they do. That is what they're born in. So I realized at that particular moment, it's difficult to sit and say, it's difficult to try, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion based on what I saw with my observable eye. It is difficult for you to sit and say you're going to outdo Southern. You're not going to outdo Southern because those are a culture of people who have grown up in it, been ingrained in it. Do you get outside people? Absolutely. Do you get some random person from like Pudunk, Wyoming? Maybe, right? But even still, the people who are teaching you are people who are ingrained in that culture. So it's difficult to outdo Southern doing Southern. That's why I feel it's important for you now to be who you are versus trying to be them, because that is their culture. You're not going to outculture them. And that's the same way I felt about, being in New Orleans and just seeing those people. So I wanted to make sure that I said that on here too, because if you didn't see it on the gram, you definitely going to get it here. I 100% get it now. I didn't get it then, but I get it now.
When you said that, some OGs sent it to me when I reposted, and it was like, that goes to show you, like, I can tell when another band playing that you about to get tired. You know what I'm saying? Because you either trying to overblow too much or you just ain't got the lung capacity. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to go back to the battle. Yeah, we congratulations to Georgia. While we say they won, Luke, because a lot of us feel the way you feel, but when they played Spain and they played I want to say Goku's Revenge or whatever that song is, that Dragon Ball Z song, off of song selection, we just ain't have one to match that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to just like go back and forth, loud, they was bigger than us, but that didn't matter because we're gonna be louder than them. You know what I'm saying? Those just two songs that, like, damn, okay, we got something to answer, but it's not like they're gonna top that. So out of respect for us, granted, we beat people, we kick their ass. It's different. You know what I'm saying? They won. You know what I'm saying? It's not a slight they win, but it's like we just respectfully, they won. You know what I'm saying? But next year when we go to them, y'all, let's see next year. But anyway, back to the atmosphere.
Before you get to that, I will say their song selection was slightly better. I will agree to that.
In the stands, on the field, we kick their ass. I don't care what you're talking about. Yeah.
Facts.
So yeah. But I was like, a lot of questions. So I want to touch on this too. You talking about the flags, right? I want to bring this up because even Robin probably, I don't know if she's ever explained it to y'all. Our color guards in New Orleans are the closest thing that I ever seen to the Spartan guards. And let me tell you why I say that. If you ever look at a New Orleans marching band coming on the street, they actually have the same like look / spat / like mentality. Only thing different is y'all are more firm and militant. Ours do tricks and crazy things like with a marching style and a flag back and forth. So with our flags, when you see it, it's only for representation that we in the building. They don't need, they may have like a routine that they do to a song or something, but it's nothing for you to be judging them on. You know what I'm saying? If that was the caliber, it's just representation that we in the building. You have to look at the Mardi Gras bands and color guards to see them versus the flags that you seen the other week. You probably can judge them off of like song technicality, however you see it, but our auxiliaries in New Orleans is off the chain. Those guys were just there. But I don't know why they was like, they just to represent the band, but it wasn't like how you would need to see them in a football season when you could see them versus somebody else, if that makes sense. Like, so you can judge this squad versus that squad. Judges don't have that. So like, it's nothing for you like to judge them off, if that makes sense. Another thing, the field category. Why y'all in the field? Why you just can't go in the stands? The field is for the nitty gritty. It's for the all in your face. For us to really get an interaction with this other band, turn to them, blow to them, like interact with the crowd so the crowd can feel it more versus being in the stands. Shouts out to Travis and the Independence Showdown. That's their format, and we just kind of use it because it's just a different feel versus when the band's in the stand, you can't touch them, you can't go dap somebody, or you can't, you know what I'm saying, really hear what they're saying verbatim. But yeah, man, overall it's a great event. Probably one of the best summer band battles I ever experienced. Only because that's two of the best bands. You know what I'm saying? It's the Juggernaut versus the Muscle. You know, and that was the first of its kind because you never really had a battle that have two good bands that like go all day playing songs. So they not only they set the tone, they started something totally different. There's so much that happened within this first battle that you came to Luke that don't happen because normally it's more battles. It's like two bands are battle on the field, they move out the way. Two other bands are battle on the field, they move out the way, and everybody go in the stands and kind of have a round robin like that. This was only for the two best bands of the summer. There's a lot y'all said, but I'll just stop right there. But that culture, if you see me doing anything crazy or like cursing and talking shit, I just was in my moment. I didn't even see y'all. That's how crazy. That's how invested I was. That's how I was like working. But yeah,
Yeah, we sat back, and just really observed. We just wanted to be observers. We weren't really trying to necessarily be in the action because we wanted to be as fair as possible. So that's why I say we saw you. Shout out to Crucial Conflict. We saw them, they whole squad. Shout out to Show Style Talk. We saw they whole squad. So yeah, we just kind of really wanted to sit back and just watch the energy and understand the vibe. I know Quan has some things that he wanted to discuss. He's actually out right now. He should be logging in when he gets settled. But I don't want to take those questions from him and those thoughts from him. So I know he has some things that he wanted to talk about. But like I said, man, I thought it was the energy was up, which because I'm not gonna talk about this all day. I'm gonna let y'all know that now. I actually have questions, but I thought the energy was up, and it was one of the things that actually spawned my thought process for today's show and the questions that I have for the show. Because, like I said before, a lot of the things that I saw happening reminded me of some of my high school times and battling other bands when I was in high school, or even just Rick wasn't there, but even just taking it back to the street battle we had at Howard that everybody passes around. With us and Brass Council in DC. So it took me back to that same kind of energy. So yeah, man, that's why I felt the need to bring it up, man. I know, like I said, Quan's gonna come in, and I know you probably gonna respond to him too. But Justin, any final thoughts, brother? Before
yeah, man, it was a lit show, like probably one of the most legendary battles ever because this like is a new rivalry that people always wanted to see these two bands go head to head, and it's just the culture, man. A lot of that stuff, like you said, I'm glad you said you really can't explain it. We up here like trying to help up for it, what I'm saying? I can't control the crowd, but like we had no fights, nothing outrageous happening. Is how you put that? You was like it's like a disrespect but respect at the same time type vibe. And like y'all see with the dancers, yeah, Fleur Lisa, true. Shout out to Barrow Coleman. He's actually legendary in the city, man. He's actually responsible for founding the Talladega Diamonds. He's assistant band director at Texas Southern. He got so many damn accolades that he's gonna be on it when it comes down to that damn dance team. And he actually arranged it too. So he arranged some songs. Crimea River was one of his songs. So yeah, man, just to answer a few questions. But thank y'all for coming, man. It's so much. I haven't uploaded my clips yet because I want to present this to the world in a different kind of way so you can see actually what I'm seeing. And yeah, it's gonna be way gangster when I drop my clips. So yeah.
Man, anytime, bro. Quan, I know Quan's in here. He probably can't show it because he got his traveling clothes on. I know what it feels like walking in the room and hitting the traveling clothes, daddy. Quan, you there? You can hear me, bro?
Yeah, bro, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So,
Go ahead.
what's up, family? Now, first of all, what up, family? Miss y'all. Justin, appreciate the invite. It was cool coming out there, going back home and visiting. I had a great time with the family, with everybody out there. Also, just to kick it with my dog Julian and his wife. Boys ate well, if I must say. But in regards to the battle, I agree with what Julian was saying in regards to the energy. You feel me? The energy was live, but what I see as a band director, some of the things that we said on the show, excuse me, some of the things we said on the show, I think honestly, mass band, if it's marketed in a different way, because I said that when I was out there, if it's marketed in a different way, it could be bigger than what it is now. I do think right now is a little rough around the edges, but it can be polished up to be even better than actually what it is. Some of the things, some of the things that we said, and I know, excuse me, and I know some of the things that we said on the show. Hold on one second. Hold on.
Trying to get himself together. He's trying to travel, so you gotta give
Sorry.
respect.
So, in regards to some of the things that we said in regards to mass ban, um, I know it was visitors or what out there, but like me and Julian, we was laughing because we did see people out there smoking weed. We did see people out there drinking. We know that's a part of the culture, but we also got to be mindful and cognizant, even though that's a part of our culture. It's a time and a place for presentation. And if we asking sponsors for money and other fiduciary donations and whatnot, we got to be mindful of those things as well for the near future. Like I said, overall, I enjoy myself. If I'm gonna give my take before I leave, I know people gonna be mad. But I'm gonna give the overall win to Georgia. That's just my opinion. Uh, but like I say, I enjoy myself. I think Julian put it in the best manner that it was disrespectfully respectful. But I understand that culture. I'm happy. There was some footage at the end where I forgot what social media platform, but they was dapping each other off. And I think at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. I think everybody had fun. And overall, honestly, would I go again? Yeah, I possibly will go again, bro. So, but I do think, honestly, with voices such as Justin, keep pushing it. And I think with the right people, they could clean it up to where, honestly, I think it could take over the country in a positive manner. But it is some things that I see that I don't mind sharing either. And I'm pretty sure with Rick expertise with DCI, that honestly we could clean it up and present it better for the masses that represents everybody in the culture, from the band head to the band nerd to the overall professional. I think it's a place for it.
Yeah, Quan said the same thing. I would go again, but I wouldn't stay the whole time. But I would go again. I would. But go ahead.
I think you got to go to one where more bands instead of just saying two bands. But this probably be the next year is gonna be a bigger and better show. It's gonna be in Atlanta, so this is gonna be a new rival that probably ain't going nowhere. Simply because, like I said, look at their band 6 years ago. They had like 30 people. You know what I'm saying? Now they was bigger than us this year. You know what I'm saying? It's like I could talk so much war shit because I mean war stuff, but it was lit. I'm interested to see what Rick go ahead to say. You know what I'm saying? Thank you to everybody who came. I can say so much, but I'm gonna I know I'm just whatever. Rick, what you got to say? I'm really interested in what this guy got to say. I'm listening.
Hi, y'all. What's going on? I'm a little darker. I've been out in that sun all day. I ain't had no haircut, no nothing. Justin,
That's the Trump core life, boy. It's tight. All right.
Home. Yeah, man, we're doing really well right now. So it's been a good year so far. But Justin, oh man. All right. I want to push back a little bit on a couple things first. Last week I watched the show and they brought up this analogy of street ball to the NBA. I watched the videos of the battle that I could find, and the songs that are sticking out in people's head was songs like the Spain. And it's interesting because those were the songs where they played with the most sense. It was balanced. You could hear every part. It was creative. The arrangement was creative. There was great things happening, I think, there. And I think they sounded most like one of our HBCU bands in that moment. I think that was the closest that they come to sounding that way. And it's Georgia, and it's interesting because most of those people in that Georgia Mass band, they can play. Some good musicians in that band. And the same thing with New Orleans. You talked about the culture and all that. But I'm willing to compromise my musical integrity just for the sake of saying something is good for the culture. So people can come after me. I don't give a damn. Y'all know that. Y'all know me. Y'all know me for years. You know how I think about music. And to me, my response to that whole street ball to the NBA thing is, at the end of the day, flash and flare doesn't take away from the fact that it's still basketball. And there are fundamentals of basketball that no matter how you do it, you still got to put the ball in the goal. You still have to dribble up the field. Yeah, some carries maybe in street ball that don't get called, but it's still dribbling. And to me, those are fundamentals that are no matter what band you're in, they stay there. And if they aren't there, I don't care about culture or none of that. Music is music. So I'll just say respectfully, it's not for me musically. I think that the presentation of it, I think is cool. I love seeing so many black people in the same place having a good time. I get tired of people thinking that every time you see black people in a place, we supposed to fight and all that stuff. I don't even think we got to even talk about that because we don't do that every time. We done had cookouts, everything, where we talk way more shit than oh man, that was y'all suck or whatever in a band show. It's band. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to see our people in a place where we can come together, as friends and in fun, doing something that we love. But Julian brought up a statement last week that I don't think we should ever get away from, and that is at the end of the day, no matter how positive something is, you can still teach at the same time. And I think that, in my opinion, that's the reason why so many people are leaning towards Georgia is because at the end of the day, and this is how I know people make a conscious decision to do what they do, they completely changed styles from the first piece they played to when they played that Spain. It was a completely different character. Articulations were different. Everything was different. So you have a piece that's not traditional rap or whatever we call it. So we changed the way we play to play that, and then we go back to doing what we want on the rap songs. And that's always been my issue is that when we warm up, we don't play that way. When we play songs that aren't traditionally black songs or rap songs, we don't play that way. But as soon as we play something that is characterized as something else, we change our whole approach to the instrument to play that piece of music. People can debate me all they want, man. The fact of the matter is, I'm not wrong. So while I appreciate the energy, the culture of it, I agree with Julian. I think New Orleans band culture is unmatched. Period. When it comes to people that look like us contributing at a high level, I don't think that changes. But I think that there's nothing wrong with holding our art to a standard. And that's not a white standard. That's not a black standard. That's a musical standard. And so for me, I can enjoy it for what it is. It's just not for me. Hearing out of tune playing, no matter what the color is just not great. And Julian to tell you, I say this for core style, show style, any band. If I go somewhere and people playing out of tune, it's out of tune. Sorry. Missing releases on purpose for 5 measures on an out of tune double G or something like that. That's sharp. When it usually it's like, I can't compromise that. So I appreciate what it is. I just, if I had to choose between the two, I think I would lean Georgia because I think that there's were a lot more times where they played in character. But me personally, I'm not willing to compromise on my musical integrity just to say it's for the culture. And I would hope that all of us, if we love something, we will want what's best for it. Because ultimately, those kids that are in those organizations are going to have to compete against everybody, not just us. So I would hope that, the quality level continues to move forward. But, y'all said it was fun. I wasn't there. I was in California, but, I'm glad that. And Justin, I think I heard you say that this was like the 2 best bands. I haven't heard the other groups.
Yes, they got Memphis was good. Everybody did a pretty decent job for the most part, but these are 2 of the better. These 2 of the best bands. They will kick everybody's ass. It's crazy that you say that though, Rick, because I know we gotta move on. But these last 2 to 3 summers, which I know we always push the needle on like musicality for real. We just never had nobody to combat us with it. And I think I was talking with the fellas last night. I think by Georgia, like I don't know if you heard that Lion King they played. You remember that they played Lion King?
Mm-hmm.
They played, so like now I ain't gonna say that the caliber of music and expectation from these bands are gonna start rising, but it is because at the same time, just how us New Orleans folks feel, how you feel, Julian. I knew it kicked their ass through and through. We come down to playing, they're not gonna outplay us. Not gonna be loud. There's still more aggression, articulation. But when you play a song like they played, or just change it up. If you don't have nothing to answer to it, that's us going back to our roots and we actually musicianship. Damn, we ain't got nothing to play against that. Even though I know we having fun and cranking this, that, and third. So I do see that the musicality needle is not about the like an expectation of song quality. It's about the rise next year if you want to be on the top. from judging how they got the win over us. You know what I'm saying?
But isn't that what I've said? Isn't that what I've said repeatedly on this show, Justin? I'm not telling everybody to sound the same. But when the only standard that we judge our bands by is how loud they can play, it lessens the whole experience. And that's why a band like Georgia was able to come in there and play Spain. They brought the volume back a little bit and focused on clarity. My favorite part of Spain was those trombone smears that are in there. It was some really cool stuff happening in there, like in the texture of the writing, that we don't really hear when people are just trying to, like, it's I equate it, Justin, to people just yelling the whole time. If we're screaming the whole time, you lose sensitivity to that. But if I start my voice right here, and then I get more intense, there is more of a story I can tell there instead of just the whole story being, all right, I'm the loudest, baddest mother in town. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where,
show enough,
where I've always come from that standpoint. I know people can't really feel me where I'm coming from because they want everybody to be the same. I don't want everybody to be the same. I want to come to a Battle of the Bands and get the Southern style, which is what all I ever hear at these Battle of the Bands. It would be nice to come in and get some Bethune-Cookman thrown in there, or some Tennessee State, or some Norfolk State, or some bands, whatever. And that comes from song selection, that comes from variety of playing, instead of everything just being yelling loud, loud, loud. So that's all I've ever said.
Also, that the cricket ain't going nowhere. Like, even though it ain't, so even though to that point that the musicality expectation is gonna rise, you know what I'm saying? Which we always raised about when it comes to music. People just always they wouldn't pay attention to a song like a Wrecking Ball, but they're gonna pay attention to like Thong Song. You know what I'm saying? That we actually play like right. You know what I'm saying? Or they not gonna pay attention to like the NFL theme song that we play, but they definitely gonna play attention to any Lil Wayne or something that we play. So in most cases, Rick, I'm glad that you watch, but a lot of times we can't win for losing. And that's why I appreciate New Orleans All-Star Band, now Georgia, you know what I'm saying, for actually getting a different ear like you to be able to say, ooh, you see they could do it. How boy said musical code switching. Yeah, when you're trying to win a battle and you see somebody play that, you gotta change that. You know what I mean? And maybe that's how the song is wrote. But also the entertainment factor, back to the culture like we talked about, you wouldn't get anybody to come out if we ain't cranking out. You know what I'm saying? But we also can do it right. And a lot of these band directors over these bands, they have a lot of college experience, or they even on a college level right now, or they should be on somebody's college level right now. That I'm not gonna lie, they preach a lot of the same things you saying to the band, Rick. They do. And I'll be remiss to say they don't. You know what I'm saying? Especially in New Orleans All-Star Band, dynamics, cutoffs, the shorter note, the bigger the pop. You know what I'm saying? We learned that in middle school, but sometimes I can't control people that just, that just want to go against the grain. Like I say, for example, like if Barry made a post about the reason why we lost. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, like I agree with Luke, but at the same time, when you talk about the songs that they played, it's just they don't have an answer for it. I know we capable of. We probably played it better than they actually did. It's just a matter of sometimes they executed better on that day. They just had the better presentation that day. They'll make them a better advantage and make they won the battle in a sense. So I can't say you wrong in your experience, but at the same time, I can't like take away from what it is that actually goes on, but also say you right at the same time, because it's a nice balance of both things.
I mean, and I just want to be completely clear, man, because I know my words get misconstrued all the time. My only message has always been, Justin, I don't want everybody to be the same. Me personally, I enjoy some things Southern play. Me and Julian got plenty of songs that Southern play that we enjoy. Like when they play I Remember, we were over there fanboying. Like, I love I Remember. I love that joint Brian wrote for them, the Outkast song. Like they played a lot of things that I like. My only issue has always been, man, and Julian said at the top, can't nobody out Southern. That can't be the only standard that we have, man. Like, everybody has to be Southern. And I think there needs to be room for bands like the Georgia Mass Band to be able to come in and play stuff like that and to get appreciated. And this is the first time that I've seen that. This is the first time where I've heard people talking about something that wasn't just cranked up the whole time. And to me, that I have a great appreciation for that. I'm not a hater, even though people think I am. I just have a standard of quality that I'm just going to be uncompromising with. And I think as Black people, we should all have that expectation. What is our quality? And being able to stick to it. You know, be our culture, be fun, be all the things that we do, but do it with a level of polish and refinement where we can all be proud of and hold it up, you know, against anything. Like you said, Jew, in this thing, man, or Quan said, there's potential here beyond just, you know, just seeing it, you know, in a parking lot or in a football stadium. Why is this thing not being televised and these bands being able to reap the benefits of all this, you know, success? There's nothing wrong with what they do. It just being uncompromising with quality has to be who we are as Black people. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing, man. Crank up, do all that, but crank up in tune. It's all right to pull out a tuner. You know, it's all right to alter the third in a chord, even in show style band, to make sure that everything settles where it's supposed to. That's the teaching I'm talking about, Justin. I'm not talking about going in there. All right, we ain't playing loud. I have any band that I've been a part of, you guys, Julian, we play loud. But for me, that next conversation is, all right, y'all, we played it at the right volume. Let's talk about intonation. Let's make sure that the root and the fifth is straight up and down. Let's make sure we alter to the third down if it's a major chord, or up if it's a minor chord. You know, that's the teaching I'm talking about, knowing what those things are. So at least the student is thinking about it. Okay, I'm playing the third of the chord. It's a B flat chord. So if I'm playing concert D, I need to make sure I bring that pitch down slightly so it settles in tune. There ain't nothing matter with saying that. Not just, I've heard this with my own ears, Justin. I've heard a teacher tell the students, I don't care what come out the end of the horn. You better just blow that damn hole. And the kids got all excited. Ah, yeah.
And then they cranked up right after that.
And then Justin, the next rep, dust was coming out the ceiling.
Falling from the ceiling.
Dust was coming out the ceiling. They were playing so loud. And I'm sitting there like, this is awful. Like, but the kids were excited. You know, like, ain't nothing matter with teaching in the process of cranking up. That's all I'm saying. And to those brothers that you're talking about, kudos to them, because clearly, you know, something's great is happening out there, man. I don't really have much negative to say about it. Some of it's not my cup of tea, but, you know, hey, I know I'm not going to be able to change. Like I told y'all, I will no longer on this show say anybody's band sucks or anything. I don't want to go there anymore, because those are kids. Those are Black people. I'm not going to bash my people in front of nobody. But what I will say is I'm going to always have a character for quality. And if it's not meeting that standard, then I'm going to say something about it, whether it makes people happy or not. So. And
Rick, let me say this when you just said that. Shout out to all the young people who were playing in both groups, right? They had a little young dude on snare, man, in the Georgia Mass Band who was doing really well, man. He was killing. There was a lot of young people in there, man. So shout out to all the young people who were actually participating in there, man. I was actually happy to see that. And there's a video that's going around between the young dude in Georgia and I think it was somebody from New Orleans Mass Band who was going back and forth on the snare. And the one thing that I appreciated about it is everybody around it was hyping the young dude up. It wasn't just it was everybody, man. So
he in like 7th grade. Like,
yeah, he was a little young cat, man. So yeah, man. Shout out to that. Shout out to those young fellas, man.
All right, my head out. All right, so let's think. Like I said, I appreciate you for coming, Rick. I wish we can get you in the building one day. That'd be great to actually see you in the building to come. Y'all drag Rick up out the house. I know it's during DCI time. But another thing, so I wish one day either y'all get an episode with some of the directors and let them get their point of view. I know you can reach out to Robin for New Orleans, and I can give y'all the contact for everybody else. And also I often hear people say about how this can be brought to the next level. You know what I'm saying? If these things was to happen. Because I know one of the biggest things with All-Star Band is funding. You know what I'm saying? Georgia came all the way to New Orleans. Y'all know that wasn't a cheap trip for them. You know what I'm saying? The question is how they get the kind of money to do that. Fundraising, if they can do it as a community, with big sponsors, you never know what can happen. So like y'all, since y'all DCI familiar, you know what I'm saying, Rick, if you think it's anything that this culture can do that maybe can bring this to the next level, I'm pretty sure all of these programs will be open to it. You know what I'm saying? Even me, I throw some band battles, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that maybe we can do a compromise, you know what I'm saying, to give it a shot and pushing it forward, I think people will be interested in, you know what I'm saying? At least the two bigger programs, and you never know, we can add to it until we get there. But I heard that like so many times the past summer that like this can be bigger on a DCI level, man. So yeah, that's all I want to say.
Yeah, man. Just I mean, you already know how to hit me up, man. Just hit me up, and then we can chop it up and send information and do whatever we need to do, bro.
All right, bet. All right, so I'm gonna let y'all go. All right.
All right, bro. Appreciate you, man. Man, I will tell you this. Like I said, it was a hell of a weekend. It wasn't just about my weekend. Wasn't just about the mass, man. I'm just gonna be real with you. My weekend is I had a damn good time in New Orleans, bro. And it's so much so that my wife was like, "Yo, we gonna have to make this an annual thing." So I might be in New Orleans every year around that time. So let's go ahead and move forward with the show. First things first, I do want to say this. August 24th, I believe. Correct, and somebody's gonna correct me if I'm wrong. August 24th will mark a full year of Talk That Talk. I am super, man. It's been a year. We coming up on a year. So Talk That Talk Convention in New Orleans, probably. So I'm super excited about that. And so much so that what I'm probably gonna do, or more than likely what's gonna happen is we're probably gonna do maybe one or two more shows, and then we're gonna take a break as far as Talk That Talk is concerned. For a lot of reasons, because Rick is on tour, Portia is about to get back into the swing of things. Quan is going to be cranking up real soon. And so this gives people a chance to really get settled and get their brains together and do what they need to do. Plus, I want to be able to come back on the second year and come back big. Unless y'all just be like, yo, we got to keep it going. Then that's a whole nother story. But there are some things that I want to say. We are equal opportunity. We are going to do our best to try to make it to every event if we can. I know for a 100% fact that we will be at the National Battle of the Bands this year. Y'all looking crazy. We'll talk off screen. But Portia, if you can come down for that National Battle of the Bands, come on down. I know that we will be at DCI events this year. Myself will be in Denton. Quan will be at the Houston show, and I might try to make it up for San Antonio. So we're trying to be equal opportunity. We're trying to get to everybody and get to as many events and things like that as we possibly can, and not be massively biased. We still gonna give our opinion, and we still gonna be very firm on what we feel, but we're gonna try to get to as many things. Also, final thing before we get into the actual meat of the show, I'm going to very, very soon start doing a Patreon, and that Patreon is going to be super dope, because what I'm going to do in that Patreon is I'm going to let y'all in on this little secret. As a matter of fact, no, I ain't gonna do that. I'll let y'all know later when the Patreon goes up. All right. So let's go ahead and actually get the full show started, because good Lord, I figured the mass band joint would go a little bit long, but let's go ahead and get the show started the right way. All right. So welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about band, HBCU band culture, music education, and more. Man, y'all go ahead and smash that like daddy for the show, man. We are coming up on 1 year, so go ahead and smash it for the 1 year, for the one time. Also, please subscribe to the Passioneers Network and turn on notifications. This episode will be up tomorrow on all your podcasts and networks. Just type in Real Talk That Talk, except for Apple Podcasts, where you type in Talk That Talk, and it should come right up for you. All right, man. So the reason why I thought about this show is basically because of what I experienced when being at the New Orleans the mass band performance. One of the things that felt really good to me is to watch the connection of music and watch the connection of band. And as I told you, for me, it took me back to when I was in high school and some of those battle moments. So going around the room, let me go ahead and ask it right now. And as a matter of fact, if you in the chat, I want y'all to go ahead and put it in there, because right now, this to me, this is like family, love. Let's have a good time. I mean, if you choose to talk your stuff, but we gonna have a really good time today. So what is one of your greatest memories from band? What is one of your greatest memories from band. Now, before anybody answers this question, I also watched y'all last show too, Maya and Portia. And this is it all is tying in together because y'all started going into that. So, what is one of your greatest memories from band? All right. Also, if you in the chat, you can go ahead and put it in too. But Portia, you got it first if you could think of one off the dome.
Favorite, greatest. Ugh. Oh man. I'm gonna go with that 07 Honda. It was 20 of us that year, and for 20 people to be locked in like that, it was just an out of body experience. And I mean, the other thing is for the Legion to have been locked in like that, was just different, and I felt it coming the day once we got to the dome the day before, but that just is unforgettable. The feeling that I had, the energy, the connection to everybody else on that field with me. I think that's my greatest memory participating. You know, I've had some moments since I've been coaching that I'm just like, yes. But that would be my greatest moment. That would be one of them. I don't know if that's it. It's kind of hard, but I'm gonna give that top right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's only one. I know it's difficult to go through the whole list. Give one. Maya over there struggling right now.
It's hard. It's hard, but I'm gonna have to go with that Honda, that first Honda. I had plenty of moments with the Legion that I'm just like, I don't know what it feels like to be in a band and get your ass kicked every week, because we foot the ass to other people every week. You know, I don't know what that's like. So I have a lot of moments that I could pull out, but I'm gonna go with that one for now.
All right. Maya, what about you? What is one of your greatest memories from band?
I am in distress because yikes, there are so many. Okay, great. I have so many. Okay, so since I talked about, I won't do the one that I talked about on the feature. Okay, honorable mention. My first halftime show, my first crab halftime, 2010 Labor Day Classic. That was definitely memorable because it's just something about your first time out. But the one that sent me through the ringer, and even though it wasn't the greatest from beginning to end, I'll always remember it. Honda 2012. So Dr. Sherrod had just left. Well, Dr. Sherrod was leaving. We didn't know it at the time. That was my first performance after my captain graduated in December and I was selected as captain moving forward. That Honda was crazy because, one, when we got there, my first time stepping into the Georgia Dome, if you stepped in there, you know, like you look up like that scene on Drumline when Devin goes into the stadium and he just like, it's just like, ah, just like that. But I was sick as a dog. I should not have been out there in the first place. I think I had the flu. I'm not sure what I had. Sick as a dog. Everything was going absolutely like shit at the practice that we had, whichever year that was. I was sick as a dog. It was my first time having a performance, not necessarily a performance in itself, a whole experience as captain. Didn't know what I was doing. But needless to say, everything was everything. Everything happened and went off without a hitch. But that whole experience was just, I don't know. It's just that really solidified having a backbone, because that was not, it was not great, but it was great in terms of the memories and just like the thrill of it all. So that's what I can think of right now.
All right, bet. Rick, what is one of your greatest memories from band?
I don't know, man. I've been a band director for 15 years now, so I don't remember what it was like being a marching band, being in band. especially in Norfolk State, because yeah. So let everybody, I ain't had the greatest experience in Norfolk State's band. You know, I was really tight with some of the directors like Miss Sanders. So if I had to pick something from Norfolk State, it would probably be from jazz band, because that was my most enjoyable experiences at Norfolk. Dr. Sanford and Mr. Adams and I used to beef like crazy because I was marching drum corps, and they just for some reason couldn't handle that. Like, it was always a big issue. So if I had to pick one, it would probably be playing for Slide Hampton. And when Miss Sanders, she took us to the North Carolina UNC Wilmington Jazz Festival. And not only did the jazz band get like a superior rating at that festival, but Miss Sanders was chose to perform with Slide Hampton that night because we had played so well, and she was legit on her horn. And I'll never forget that, man. Like, him listening to our band and telling us we sound good, and being the only HBCU there. And so it felt like we were representing for all HBCUs. So I think as a performing member in band, that'd probably be my number one experience, I guess. I mean, I've had some good ones, but most of my stuff, I would say as a teacher, you know, I think I have way more there than I do as a performing member of school. But I'll just give one just to stay in the context of the question. So probably Norfolk State Jazz Band playing for Slide Hampton in 2000. It was either 2000 or 2001. I can't remember, and he just passed recently too. So shout out to the legend, our ancestor, Slide Hampton, one of the best trombone tones I've ever heard in my life, period. And we got a chance to play for him in 2000. So cool, that one.
All right, I'm gonna actually throw myself in there, and then we got somebody who's in the waiting room. I'm gonna let him come up and talk about his. But mine was my freshman year in high school, man. The first time in my life ever hearing a roar of a crowd. Like, if you've never heard the true roar of a crowd, it is just by far the most exhilarating experience you've ever had in your life. It was right at the end of the dance routine. We had already did the full. First of all, when we came out, you can watch this battle. It's on I can't remember what's Tape Master. You can find it on Tape Master. 99 Willow Ridge High School. Well, it says 98. It actually was 98. 98, 99 Willow Ridge High School Battle of the Bands at University of Houston Stadium. We came out the crowd was going nuts anyway, because, you know, we were the legends in the city. Shout out to Mr. Thornton, man, rest in peace. But we did the whole show top to the bottom, and then we finished the joint out with a split, and we hit the split, we bend backwards, and you can't see nothing but the sky. So in my helmet or in my Shako, all I hear is Rah! And I was like, whoa, this shit is amazing. And then you know, we came up and, you know, marched off the field. But by far one of my greatest memories, that right there, I will never forget. Like, if you pull that tape up right now, I can mentally still do the dance routine. I probably ain't physically doing it no more. I mean, but I know and remember each move from that. But definitely my freshman year, Battle of the Bands, Willow Ridge High School. Chuck, man, what's your greatest memories from band?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Man, I concur with Rick, man. It's hard, like, you know, after being a band director for a long time, you kind of see it on both sides. You know, it's kind of hard. I gotta say, honorable mention is, you know, when I was at ANC, we went to Vegas and we played Southern, you know, in 2003. So that was, you know, crazy. But I gotta say, like, as a student, mine was 2001. It was my freshman year, my first year in ANC. And we did this thing called the Portland State Classic, right? And so they promoted it a whole year out. And I don't know if you guys have ever been to Washington State. I had never been there before. And it was like the cleanest city that I've ever been in. It was so beautiful. We were there on a Wednesday, I think, and we stayed all the way to Sunday. Prior to us, well, okay, when we landed, we got these magazines and they had the pictures of like the Blue and Gold marching machine on it. And I remember us stopping like, to get some fast food or whatever after we got, off the plane. And these kids were like running up to us asking for our autograph. Like, and they were serious, because they had been promoting this thing in the city a whole year in advance. So that was an amazing thing. And then when we got to the hotel, they gave us these honey baked, the bros were passing out the honey baked ham company boxes, right? And in the boxes, they had these Pepsi cans, and it had like featuring the Blue and Gold marching machine, at the Portland State Classic. And I was like, holy, like, this is crazy. Like, and then Portland State, like they had some connections with Nike. I guess they were like a Nike school. So they gave us like 40% off at the Nike factory. We had just got refunds the day before we left. So, man, folks were like trying to figure out how do we go bring all these shoes home and stuff. Like, hey, you got room in your bag and stuff. I mean, it was crazy. The hotels we stayed in was immaculate. We went to this party, me and some of my line brothers that same night, and it was this Omega that was throwing the party. And I don't know if you guys remember BET used to do like step competitions and stuff. They had this group called like the Unknown Sigmas, right? And they were really popular, right? And so they were there. And man, let me tell you, when the bros, man, we threw down. They had never seen anything like KK on that side of the country. And because of that, that guy was like, y'all got to come to this party the next night. So he picked us up, got us in VIP, and we just like strolled and party hopped the whole night. I mean, it was the best trip ever. You know what I'm saying? It was the best trip ever. The fans, the performance wasn't like all that because it was at a baseball stadium. I don't know if any of you guys ever performed in a baseball stadium. It was trash. Half the band was in the infield, half was in the outfield. And playing up to, because baseball bleachers, it's a little bit different, and so the performance was trash, but man, I mean, kids were coming up there. It was just an amazing thing. So yeah, but I would say Portland State, 2001 definitely was a unsuspecting, amazing performance when I was in college. As a director, it was and I'll be quick. Again, it was we did the National Memorial Day Parade in 2011. I got to take a group to that, and so being on a national stage was amazing. So as a director, that would be my top.
All right, Chuck, man, appreciate that, man. That's dope, man. I shoot, I would love that discount right now. God dang, I need them Nikes. I need them Nikes, man. But man, appreciate you. Also, man, I don't know if he got what you. Doc, he got what
I got you, bro.
Yeah, so I'll get with you later. All right, bro.
No doubt.
All right, bro. Appreciate you.
All
right, man. So there we go. See, man, we'll probably get through these because we probably gonna be spending a lot of time reminiscing right now. All right, man. So let's go ahead and do it. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about band, HBCU band coaching, music education, and more. Man, y'all go ahead and smash that like, daddy, and also subscribe to the Passion Is Network and turn on notifications. This episode will be up on all your podcasts and networks tomorrow. Just type in Real Talk That Talk, except for Apple Podcasts, where you can just type in Talk That Talk, and it'll be right there for you. All right, so here we go. Here's the next question. I'm piggybacking off of kind of what y'all had y'all conversation on last week. What one thing can you say besides music connects all of us? What one thing can you say besides music, right? Because that's going to be like obvious, right? Like we're music, right? Connects all of us. Rick, you go first.
In marching band?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Being black. I mean, point blank, period. There's something about having a shared experience as black people that I think ties us all together, especially because all of us went to HBCUs. So our college experience was a lot different. I can definitely speak from my time at Norfolk State. I got my undergrad and master's degrees from Norfolk State. So I was fully ingratiated in HBCU band and just HBCU culture in general. I was a black Greek from an HBCU. I was, a black band member from HBCU. You know, so those experiences, I think, tie us all together. And that's why I think that these arguments we have as HBCU bands is insulting and ridiculous to me. Because just because we do band differently doesn't mean we don't share 100% of the experience in common with one another. And I get so tired of the bickering and complaining because band A is different than band B or whatever. Okay, all black people are different. It's the same argument we have when it's voting time and we all get lumped into the same categories. Everybody got different wants and needs. You know, we're not a monolith just because we're all black people. So I think the black experience, to me, trumps everything. And then, you know, you throw in our band culture, you throw in our contributions to American music in general. As black people, wouldn't be no American music if it wasn't for black people, period. Louis Armstrong created American singing. I got this shirt on. This is the shirt right here. This man, his name is Edward Boucher. Edward Boucher is the first black man in America to get a doctorate degree. And I wear this shirt all the time because I want people to ask me, hey, who is that? You know, what did that guy do? Why are you wearing a shirt with that guy on it? Because our history is what it is for a reason. And we lose who we are as a people when we don't know our own history. So I think at the end of the day, you know, outside of band, outside of all these ridiculous rivalries or quote unquote rivalries, at the end of the day, our experiences as black people ties us together. And it's also what's going to help us get past all these dumb arguments and all this mess that don't matter, you know, is what we share as black people. So that's it.
So I'm not saying that I disliked your answer. I actually thought your answer was freaking phenomenal. But I'm going to share mine so you all can get a better understanding of the question.
No, what if you take one of ours?
Okay, all right, fine. Well, go ahead. Well, go ahead, Maya. Since you said that, go ahead.
Wait, I was just kidding. What are the rules?
You put it out there. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. See, that's what happens when you don't be minding your business. Okay, so are we talking about the four of us? Or are we talking about fine.
All of us.
Okay.
Everybody.
Who? The people in the back.
Everybody.
I'm nervous. I would say. Okay, no, never mind. Go ahead and say what you was gonna say.
See, that's what happens when you just shoot from the
I
hip.
just want to make sure I'm shooting from the right hip.
Well, go ahead. Pop your whole hip out. Let me hear what you got.
I was going to say passion. But do I need to stop there and go back to you? Okay. So because your answer isn't bad. Rick's answer wasn't bad. But let me give you some understanding. Let me put it to you like this. Okay.
All right. One things that I feel connects us all is the feeling that you get that first day that you walk into band camp. We all know what that feeling feels like, especially as a rookie and or crab. Think about it. You walk in, you nervous, you trying to figure out what's going on. You got your shirt on, you don't really know nobody. You may see little Johnny over there who you may recognize from high school, but you can't talk to him because they probably in another section. Then you got to hit the PT daddy and you're trying to figure out what's going on. You're talking to your upperclassmen and it's hot as hell outside and you're trying to figure it all out and they teaching you some shit and you like, bro, this is, I ain't think it was going to be like this, dog. And then you see your partner over there, he throwing up because he tired or something like. That's what I mean by that. Like one thing that you feel like connects us all, I think is band camp. Like when it gets August and the sun is outside and I smell that dewy smell from the grass, it feels like band camp. And it just, I don't know. I have a mental breakdown because I'm like, bro, it feels like band camp. And being a teacher, watching and seeing that again and watching kids grow through it, it just takes me back to that memory. So that's what I mean by the question, if that makes sense now. So
now what?
Now you got to come up with an answer.
I'm still say passion.
Okay,
I mean, because honestly, like whether it's the culture, whether it's music, band, what have you, to me, I think it all boils down to it's an interpretation. It's an interpretation of what we feel in our hearts, and it's the way that we feel it and how we push it back out to the universe or what have you. So whether it's by sound, by ear, by tongue, by action, what have you, it's about passion. What it takes to be able to go to band camp every single day, what it takes to be able to deal with those 3, 4, 5 weeks of hell and torture prior to the season, what it takes when things aren't going right, what it takes when you've been in music rehearsal, dance rehearsal, whatever, hour after hour after hour, and it's just not a good day. What it takes to come back the next day, what it takes to be able to feel that pride that you have for your university, for your program, to be able to push those things out in the eye of entertainment. I think it all boils down to passion, and that is what connects us. It's what connects us to our programs, and it's what keeps us there and gives us a foundation, something as this. Because I mean, hey, we're years removed, whether physically or mentally, to still come back week over week and have conversations to push the culture forward. I think it still goes eye and eye with passion.
Okay. Portia, what you got?
Is there anything left? We got band camp, we got being black, we got passion. I don't know if I have anything after that. What's one thing that you can say connects all of us? I think passion, being black, band camp, all, but it's the entire experience, I think. Because no matter what school you went to, it's certain things that are standard across every marching band program. And so, you know, even on our show, Maya, Sean, and I went to 3 separate schools and did different things in auxiliary, but there are certain things that are going to be the same across the board that we can relate to. And it would be the same thing with other people who've been in different marching band programs. It's certain things that you're going to experience. And there are certain things that you're going to have to do week in and week out to make it happen. And I think those things remain the same. Now, intricacies of preparation and what's the focus of a program may be different, but in order to put on a damn field show, you got to get out there and march it. In order to put on a routine or play a song, you got to put in that work. It's just certain things across all marching bands that you're going to experience. And this is not just at HBCUs. I mean, bands, marching bands in general, there's certain things that we're going to share because there's several ways to skin a cat, but you still got to skin that damn thing. So it's the experience overall from top to bottom, from band camp to you when you leave it and you're still passionate about it. There are certain things that you're going to go through that everybody who has ever been in a marching band can say, you know what? That also happened to me, but this was my story. It's certain things that we're all going to experience. Just like you all said, you didn't have no performances where you messed up. I know everybody that I've talked to that was in an auxiliary unit has one performance they wish they could take back. So it's just the totality of your experiences. We could poll 100 people that have marched in some form of auxiliary, and I'm telling you, they got one that they ain't even got to think about. It's on the top. That I wish I never participated in. I just want to disappear for a little while. Everybody has one of those. So there's certain things in the experience of being in the marching band that everybody is going to have.
I want to, and I don't disagree with that. I agree. I actually, real quick, want to bring up one of the ones that y'all talked about on y'all show. Putting on that uniform for the first time.
Baby.
You know, after you done been through, because I wanted to comment on y'all show, but I couldn't because I'm going to let them have it. But, bro, going through your band camp wearing them white shirts and them shorts, and you go through all that, and you went through practice and rehearsal and blah 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 blah, and you finally get to suit up. That is a feeling like none other. And that first step off, so I know everybody's different, right? So at Norfolk, we march from the band room to the stadium. When my freshman year, we call it the Green Mile. I don't know if they still call it that, because of that baseball stadium that got that big old green board over there. But stepping off that first time with that uniform on, man, that is one of the greatest feelings in the world. And I'm pretty sure that is something that is connected through all of us, across every band, every program, suiting up for the first time. Rick, was that the same feeling that you had when you put them chain daddies on for the first time? Or you was like, man, she left this.
I was so just happy to be done with band camp. They could have gave me a white t-shirt and some shorts, and I would have been happy with, oh my God.
Rick, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. I think everybody felt like that. Lord, I ain't got to do this every damn day again. I was so happy for school to start. I ain't know what to do with myself. Lord Jesus, I just want to be in the air condition for part of the day.
If I ain't had to see Sharice Parker one more time in my life, I would have been fine with it back then. Now, mama, don't kill me. But yeah, when Sharice, man, look, Sharice had us shook. And it won't no hazing, no nothing. Sharice ain't never hazed us. But we knew she had a level of expectation of us. And meeting her level of expectation was difficult. So, yeah, like I said, when they handed us the band shirt and we got our rookie board for the first time, I was like, oh Lord, I done made it. Oh, I'm in the Legion. Oh, thank you, Lord. But then, yeah, so when they handed me the uniform, that didn't really have the same effect. And plus, the uniform, like, that thing was hot because we had them heavy
old uniforms was hot. They was hot.
Them heavy daddy. So I was like, yeah, I'm good. But yeah, when they handed us the band shirt and all that, that's how you knew you was Legion, especially watching how some of the old heads act. When they saw somebody with the band shirt on and they wasn't Legion, I was like, okay, I get to wear it and not get cussed out. So I'm good.
I think Sean brought up a good one. That's the truth. Anything that the Legion has ever played, or a marching band, not just the Legion, a marching band has played the shit out of, I can't hear it the same way. Mm-hmm. Like every time, or if it's a drill song that we did, every time I hear it, I don't know, I'm interjecting parts and phrases and pieces, and it ain't the same.
Speaking of which, so what about like signature songs of the school, right? Like Norfolk, we got Behold. I know PV has Entertainment Tonight. A&T, y'all got like 15 different ones. Because when I was coming up, y'all had like Velvet Rope. Everybody knew y'all for Velvet Rope. Then everybody knew y'all for Middle Finger You. I don't know, Chuck. Maybe you can help with that. But I'm just saying, like signature songs. Like, what did it feel like playing that signature song the first time? Because I remember playing Behold for the first time, and it was actually during band camp. And because we had been practicing that joint over and over again, in sectionals and in the band room and blah, 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 blah. Man, we blocked up that night. I think it was about 8, 9 o'clock at night. It was dark outside and we blocked up and we hit that joint. And I just had chills running down my spine because it made me feel like I finally had gotten to that point of like, yes, we close. And then Behold is like super dope anyway. But like, is it that same way with Entertainment Tonight, Maya, when you heard it the first time? Because you ain't played it, but
I could have played it.
I didn't say you could. I'm just saying you did though. But
I mean, yeah. So for me, it's a little bit backwards, right? So kind of going to what we were talking about early, kind of growing up in that particular culture, coming from Townview, coming from the Dallas area, I always resonated. Well, I was more familiar with the band version of songs as opposed to the real thing, right? Because Entertainment Tonight, I wasn't really old enough to be watching it like that. So it wasn't until I got into those programs and I heard the song like Swamp. I knew Swamp as a band song before I knew Swamp was a song. and the lyrics and everything that follows suit. So to be able to be in that house, to be in that arena and hear it, it just feels a little bit different. Like, damn, this is what I grew up listening to, but now I'm right here in the midst of it all and able to dance to it. It's just something totally different. And of course, when I hear it on the radio or what have you, I'm not singing the regular Swamp. I'm singing the band version. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's. I don't think it is different. It's just kind of in reverse for me.
Yeah, I think, and see, that's the thing. I think that as bandsmen, period, I think that it's super dope to have those things that really connect us all in some type of way. Like even just this past weekend, and you know, my wife was privy to it. I felt real connected for like 2 days. Well, 2 days, but now like forever. Just being able to have a conversation with Quan's wife, because Quan's wife is a member of my high school program, but she was there before I was there. So I asked her about experiences that she had, but it just turned out that a lot of her experiences were very similar to mine. And it just made me feel good because I felt like we were connected in some type of way. So I just think it's super dope that we all have these little things that connect us as bandsmen, but also, you know, as musicians, but also as bandsmen, and that we can always revert back to and discuss. Which kind of goes back to Rick's point in the sense that we spend a lot of time going back and forth about unnecessary trivial things when there's more things that connects us than
separates us.
Yeah. Rick, any final thought on this before we move on to the next one?
No, I just think that at the end of the day, man, I think we need to just practice more civility. You know, at the end of the day, we in this together. We all want to see what's best for Black band culture. You know, yeah, we all have our own, visions of what that will look like. But at the end of the day, I think we all want what's in the best interest of Black people. So as long as that is the focus and we're doing the positive work to move Black culture forward, then, man, shoot, by all means, y'all do it your way, man. Do what you feel is in the best interest of your band and moving our people forward. So that's it.
Well, I got something real quick.
Oh, go ahead. You got it.
Do you ever, so when y'all are listening to just anything, instead of hearing your band's version or a band's version of it, let's say it's a brand new song, do you hear a brand new song and think of what it would sound like? Okay, yeah, because I'll be doing that too. In my head, I'm an arranger, okay? In my head, I have the perfect ear, okay? You cannot tell me, okay, that I cannot. So in my head, especially, even I'll find myself doing it, watching the damn Tiny Desk, and I'm like, why am I doing the band version of Superstar? Because
right.
It was, I was doing it. So I just wanted to know if it was just a me thing or if y'all said that same.
No, when stuff come out, I'd be like, oh, this would be a good band song.
Mm-hmm.
But Maya, you got to do it
right here. This the new feature right here.
But Maya, the other part of that is you do it to make fun of people too. Because when I hear like you think Smoking Out the Window by and not making fun as in like clowning, but making fun as well, I bet you Southern will play it like
this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like Smoking out the room.
Yes.
Woo!
Right.
You got to get that in there. And
if I think it'll be a dope flag feature, right. I'm in here like this. Ain't got to flag the first. Like, kill this part right here. Yeah. Absolutely.
And then you got to put that Bethune-Cookman, put that sharp 4 into 5. Chord, all that. Like, you got to put all the bands in there.
Yeah.
But when I hear melody, I mostly hear just ruined baritone. Shout out to Scarfing. Yep. Look who it is, Scarfing. Got to get that ruin there. Just ruin.
But see, the thing is, I do the same. You know, when I was on for KK Side, I was the bass guy. So any song that we had to do for then, I would make up some random marching band. It happens every single time. And I tell you, sometimes it's funny riding in the car with my wife because she get tired of me sometimes hitting it. Woo, 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 but I do it every single time. It don't change, man. I don't know. I guess that is what connects us, man. As bands, when we all do it. We all do it without a shadow of a doubt. Well, thank you, Maya, for bringing that up because
that was a good one.
that is super true. We all do that.
Just rue it.
Just rue it. Absolutely. Shirts are still available. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk, where we have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about band, HBCU band culture, music education, and more. That daggone dog wants to get all the camera time. Go ahead and smash that like daddy as soon as you come through as soon as you come through. She's just trying to give you a kiss. Good Lord, get a girl a kiss.
See, the thing is, I got this new desk, and she can fit up here with all my equipment plus the desk itself. So she's just sitting up here and walking around.
Well, you should have got a tiny desk.
No, I need all 72 inches of my shit, okay?
You missed it. All right. Also, please make sure you subscribe to the Passion Is Network and turn on notifications. This episode will be up on all your podcasting networks tomorrow. Just type in Real Talk That Talk, except for at Apple Podcasts where you type in Talk That Talk. All right. So I'm going to actually keep going on the idea of everything that we just said, the things that connects us rather than separates us. And if that be the case, then are we being too hard on each other? I know Rick is ready. Look at him. His face is ready. But I ain't gonna start with Rick though. I'm gonna start with Maya and the dog.
Okay, her name is Sophie. Gosh.
Maya.
Can I like to take a lifeline. Can we take it a little bit further? What do you mean by that?
In the way that I guess I'll say it, judgmental against each other. And I'm not just talking about us, because I'm talking about everybody.
No, for sure. I got you. I mean, I think, but I think that's part of the reason why Brownie said what he said. There's no reason for us to say somebody is trash or whatever, especially if we don't have anything to offer up to be able to help or adjust. And that's why platforms such as this are so needed, because we're breaking that stigma and showing that, we can disagree, we can have different perspectives and opinions, but at the end of the day, like Portia said, there's a lot more that mends us together than that separates us. So we are too hard on each other, but I cannot say that's when we talk about we the blacks. I mean, that's just us. We like to pull some stuff apart. We like to get ignorant. We like to talk about whatever the case may be, and we like to be messy and start and say, and he said, she said, and look, she got on pink, but her pants is purple. Whatever the case may be, that's just us in general. So absolutely, we are too hard on each other. But I mean, it's a work in action, and you have to lead by example. So that's why, like I said, things like this are so necessary and needed.
Okay, Rick, are we being too hard on each other?
No, God, no. I think coming from a position of civility is important. Like, we don't have to be insulting. And just because I disagree with you don't mean I think you're the devil or the most evil person in the world. We just disagree. But I think that's just a microcosm of everything that's going on in American society. If you disagree with somebody, that means it's you against them. And as Black people, we got to pull ourselves away from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't hate anybody. There's not one person on this planet that I hate. It's not. I'm sorry. I just don't hate people. I understand that there's people I don't like. There's people that I choose not to interact with, but I don't hate anybody. I want what's best for our students. Everything I do in music is for students. It's not for me. Matter of fact, my friends tell me all the time, Julian included, that I need to take more credit for some of the things I do, but that's just not my personality. My personality is I go to work every day so that the kids can enjoy the benefits of the hard work that we put in. The thing that used to piss me off the most, Maya, and I don't know if I've ever told you this, but the thing that used to piss me off the most at PV, and Julian and I had many conversations about this, so he knows where I'm going, is I felt like sometimes we would make decisions that were going to put y'all in a position where y'all had to defend the decisions that we made. And I meant by social media, I meant by being around your peers. We're not in those small circles that y'all are in. I'm not in a lot of these groups. I'm not in these alumni groups. I'm not in all these things where y'all have to go in and defend the decisions of the band director.
So for me, I wanted to always put us in a position where we could be the most successful all around, not just from our small vision of what the band should be. That's why I love how, like where I am now, we have a lot of student input, because it's important for the students to take ownership of the band's success. Every band that's good in this country is because they have good people in front of the band with a vision, but they have a student body that has bought into what that vision is, and they support it 100%. And so for me, if I'm not doing that as the band director, then it ain't about the students, it's about me. And that's when I need to reevaluate my purpose with that program. So just in general, I think that no, we're not being too hard. Sometimes I think we need to be a little more harder on ourselves. Like at the end of the day, excellence is excellence. And we can sit up here on this platform and argue with people all day about what excellence is. But at the end of the day, like I keep saying on this show, a concert F is a concert F. If it's not a concert F that's played in tune with a good tone quality, it don't matter what band it is. And I think holding each other accountable to that is one thing. But like Maya said, I will no longer on this show. I just won't. And I've been this way for a while now. I know it pisses people off. I'm not going to say anybody's band sucks. I'm just not. I don't know the experiences that band is going through. I don't know the challenges. Over the last couple of weeks, I've really seen a lot with what some bands are dealing with from a budgetary standpoint, with a staffing standpoint. Everybody praises band A and band B. They don't praise the bands that have one band director doing everything, and the support staff coming in to try to make the band better because they care, not a person that's being paid on salary to do so. Thing about it, a lot of these SWAC bands that are successful have multiple band directors, 4 or 5 band directors. I know a lot of bands that have 1.5, maybe 2. So for me, seeing the experiences of the programs has made me a lot more sympathetic to the challenges that groups that I'm not associated with face. So no, we aren't being hard on each other. We need to be harder. Black excellence comes, what they say, iron sharpens iron, right? You want to be good on your instrument. You don't get good on your instruments by feeling sorry for yourself. You get good on your instrument or on your equipment or in your dancing by getting out there and dancing. You know what I'm saying? Or getting out there and playing, putting yourself out there and honing your skills. So hell no, we ain't being too hard. We need to be more hard on each other. We need to hold each other to the same standard. Excellence is excellence, and it regardless of color or style or conference. So that's it.
Portia, are we being too hard on each other?
I agree with Rick. No, I think that a lot of the dialogue, the benefits of said dialogue get lost. I think that there is a lot of growth and development that could be the result of conversations and feedback. Constructive criticism is a thing, and it can be used to improve yourself, your assignment in the band program, and the band program overall. But we have to be willing to be receptive. Every comment or area of feedback that comes to you that you don't agree with doesn't mean that it's negative or you're being belittled. I'm taking this, the last class that I took was a strategic leadership class, and it talked about one of the things that you have to do prior to any change taking place is getting people to understand that the change is beneficial to them, but B, it's not an attack on the overall business. It's what can we do better, because there's always something to improve. I think we get caught up in, well, she said she didn't like the way we played that song. We didn't say the song sucked, but there could have been some things that were improved upon. Or, these dancers don't look, we didn't like this about what they did. That doesn't mean they were terrible. That just means that we saw some different things that we thought could be better. Everybody has something they can improve upon. So it's not we're too hard on each other. I think the context in which things are taken leads to these big blow-ups that may seem harsh. But the reality is, and I think we said this over and over, is that we want the culture to move forward. one of the things that I try to do in my overall life is to improve. How can I get better? What can I do, to make sure that I'm a better version of myself at the end of this year than I was last year? I'm also trying to do that as a coach. And so part of it is we need to be holding each other accountable and not being complacent and being able to get feedback from people and take that and say, how can I use this to grow myself? I do not think we're too hard on each other. I think people internalize or take things personal when you get feedback. And it could be just as simple as, let me evaluate how I can utilize that to improve my craft or whatever my assignment is. I don't think we're too hard. I think how it's taken is too hard. They take it too personal. And it's really just about getting better. That's my perspective.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think that all of you guys had some very good things to say. Let me take that off of there. Something I was thinking about just now as we were going into that. So now that saying that we're not being too hard on each other, here is a bonus question for you guys. Today is, we're in July now, right? Yeah. And then next is August, and we'll be starting a brand new year. Yay. What expectations do you have for the upcoming season? Who do you think will be the surprise programs for the upcoming season? Who do you think will be the surprise programs of the upcoming season? You can't say Norfolk. Don't be biased.
I wouldn't say that anyway.
I was just messing. Well, you know what? I was just messing with you, but you know what? Don't even worry about it.
I wouldn't have said that anyway.
I got one.
Go ahead, Rick.
And and I'm hoping that what I'm seeing on social media is true from a recruitment standpoint and what I've heard from them over the last year, but I'm going to say Texas Southern. I am anxious to see what Javon and Brian and those guys are able to do now that they have a foothold in there. They've been established for a year. People think I'm a hater of Texas Southern. I am not. I have not in the past, like a lot of the stuff they've done. I thought that they let the band play that way without any checking. And I know I was right now, because as soon as this Southern staff got in there, the sound of that band completely changed. So for me, it's Texas Southern is definitely a band I'm watching. I want to see where they move that thing to. I think another band is Kentucky State.
That's what I was gonna say. That's who I want to see, and we're gonna see them in Charlotte. They've been doing some things, and I've been kind of quietly watching them. Yeah. So I'm interested, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing them in person.
Yeah. Alabama A&M. I always like Alabama A&M sound. I'm just wondering if there's another level they can take it to, especially with Bethune-Cookman and all those guys in the same division. So now they don't have to worry about being different. It's not just them in Prairie View now. So, I think SWAC drives HBCU band culture. I do. Sorry, sorry, MEAC and CIAA.
Now Justin in these comments. Okay.
I don't know about that, Justin.
I went and watched him after he told me. Okay.
But I think for me, it's definitely Texas Southern, man. And shout out to Javon Paul. I got a chance to meet that brother both at TMEA and on a couple of other occasions. And that brother is super sharp, man. So all the people on here, Texas Southern, I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys this year, man. I really hope that your recruitment efforts have paid off. And another thing is that's going to make all the bands better, right? Like Texas Southern being 250, 300 people and playing well will make PV a better band, because now it's not that, we're the bigger band, we're the bigger band and we have foes around us that are comparable, and those two going at each other, man. So I'm really excited to see where they move that program.
Okay. So Portia, you said K-State. Maya, what you got?
I don't disagree with Texas Southern. So I'm also thinking about, like, on an auxiliary level and, a dancer's perspective. I'm I'm not sure who I'm very, very excited to see about, like in a good way, honestly. Now, biased, of course, I am excited to see what the Foxes are going to do, just from watching, of course, being from the outside in, it's something about Shelby that I can't quite put my finger on, but I feel like there's a host of creativity and a host of something that she embodies that I'm interested to see like how she's going to carry that out through the team. But on the flip side of things, there are a lot of things happening in the dance world, and some teams that were making traction, stuff has hit the fan. And so now I'm not quite sure if we're going to be up, neutral, down. Alabama State is one of them. They were making good strides. I'm not really sure what this season's going to bring to us. Overall, Jackson State has always had big numbers. But with the influx of social media presence that they've been having, we know with Coach Prime, all these types of things, I wonder if that's going to translate into the band world and the band numbers overall. I'm not really sure like which side of that I'm on, but I'm interested to see if that's going to correlate in that regard and not just necessarily in the football arena as well. I'm not really sure in terms of the other teams. Of course, Texas Southern, I'm really interested. They had a really, really sound year last year. I'm talking about Motion of the Ocean. They had a really, really good year. One of the best years that I've seen in a while. So I'm interested to see how that's going to go. But other than that, I don't really have too many folks on my list. I don't know if that's good, bad. I'm just going to say, I'm just waiting to see what happens.
Well, and what about some of these schools that have new band directors or will have new band directors? Like there's a lot of influx happening. Like somebody brought up Florida Memorial. Y'all know we love Florida Memorial. Y'all know we are huge fans of that band program on this show. Like from a sound perspective, creativity, everything. But they've dealt with some challenges over the last year too. And I got a chance to meet their band staff at the consortium. Very competent, good group of people. So I would absolutely put Florida Memorial in that conversation. I mean, and you said don't be biased, but hell, Norfolk's going to the Rose Bowl parade this year. I heard the numbers are looking good. Like,
Have you heard how many trumpets?
Yeah, I heard they got over 40 trumpets, June. That's the biggest trumpet section Norfolk has ever had. So I'm anxious to see a bigger Norfolk. I just want to see it. I just want to see it here. That's all.
We're going to hope they all make it through band camp. That band camp separates the men from the boys, but it's a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, if we can get a Norfolk that's the size of 09 again, they'll be able to go up against anybody. I'll put that quality against anybody. PV, I've been hearing a lot of good things from them. I heard they're going to be back over 400 this year. So, like there's a lot to look forward to. But for me, I think what's so exciting about Texas Southern is the fact that these brothers have not been shy about letting the world know that they out here recruiting and trying to make that band better. And I think we all can agree that that's the best we've heard Texas Southern in years, many, many years was this year. So if they're able to continue on that, what's Gary going to do drill wise at A&T? He's going to do something crazy. Because that's who he is, man. Gary is the best drill writer and HBCU band, period. So what's he going to be able to do, different this year? Is he going to bring anything new to the table? I want to see all that, man. Band season makes me excited. I'm waiting to see that next band that's going to figure out that you can actually play in tune and release together, but still be exciting and play, and crank it up like we normally do. Who's going to be the next band to actually play in tune and release together? That's exciting. So it's a lot of excitement out there, man. Hell, shoot, I want to hear our bands. I can't wait to hear what my band sounds like when I get back into it, and all these other ones. So, So
Camille, nobody that's alumni will be in that Rose Bowl parade. They will be all current students that are in the Norfolk State University Marching Spartan Legion. Okay.
Yeah, the Smiths trying to. I'll deal with that. But no, I'm actually looking forward to Alabama State. They came out pretty strong this year, especially in the past, because I was not a fan of their sound. But this year, to me, this past year, to me, they just really stepped it up. I appreciated their musicianship. I appreciated their arrangements. I appreciated all of that. From a
Ooh, Brownie, I thought you had a ghost back there. I didn't know what was happening, Lord.
hey Tiff.
Right.
But there's another thing that I'm actually excited for. So let me go ahead and say this again. As everybody knows, and all of our listener knows, and people who watch the show, I'm a J5 fan. Been a J5 fan for a very long time. And they have their first Hispanic drum major. And he is from the Dallas area, marched at Skyline High School. I've actually been, so the funny thing is, the past couple of drum majors, I've been watching all of them since they were in high school. The last head drum major, he went to Edna Carr, and I had been watching him since his tryout in Edna Carr, Nate, and now he's just graduated. And so now they have the Hispanic head drum major who is from Skyline. So I personally, this upcoming year, am looking forward to seeing this J5 line and seeing the creativity that they have and what they bring. Because I'm gonna say this, Nate was hella creative. The stuff that Nate had did last year with that line, I thought was super dope. Some of the things that he came up with. So those for me are the two things that I'm looking to see, or the two programs I'm looking to see. Alabama State on the band perspective, but Jackson State on the J5 perspective. So
what 3 Norfolk performances you got on your schedule?
Who, me?
I'm talking to Justin.
Oh, Smith. Oh, he said, okay. I wouldn't see. I don't even be in the comments like that all the time. Yeah, he'll put it up. Then I'm definitely coming to homecoming, so I'm definitely looking forward to that.
It's a reunion.
Me and the wife. Matter of fact, what figure it out. Well, we're gonna have to do the Norfolk show then, and then Quan is gonna be there. We had that conversation. He's gonna be there as well. So
it's gonna be a blast.
That means Boo Boo Kitty, you gonna have to come to homecoming too.
You have to figure it out.
Wait, that's the same weekend as the competition.
Oh yeah, Smith's daddy.
Yeah.
You coming to homecoming, baby, Justin.
He coming home.
It's gonna be HT stand for homecoming, I think, right?
I don't know. He may have messed up a letter. He may have been talking about Howard or something.
That ain't. If you
Justin,
it's gonna be a movie, Justin.
Justin ain't
right
gonna be able
now.
to record nothing because it's all gonna be ground. He's gonna be recording grass and dirt.
Look, I'm gonna be at homecoming. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to step over by the band because Julian got us all messed up going after.
Ain't nobody think about that stuff. It is what it is. Y'all was here before accent existed, so we just gonna do what we do. Everybody gonna pick up their feelings, and we going on. We going on with the business of the day.
I forgot all about that and could care less.
Don't nobody care about that.
Nobody think about that. Yeah, so that's definitely gonna happen.
This my 20-year anniversary. So, oh man, I gotta be super cute at homecoming this year.
Come on, super cute. That's what I'm talking about.
You were super cute in undergrad. You don't gotta be super cute now.
20 years, dog. 20 years. I was 18. When I crossed, 19 when I crossed Omega. 20
That's
years.
crazy. It's gonna be a movie, y'all. This is the first real one since Corona.
Since the COVID, baby.
Right.
So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing my band in person versus on the video daddy. I don't know. My wife is still trying to make it to this daggone Rose Bowl. Rick, you going?
Come on out. That's gonna be a movie too. I done already made the announcement. The day belongs to the Spartan Legion, but after that, baby, it's these streets.
I'll probably be there. Yeah, I've been invited by a couple people, so I might make my way out.
Come on, family. Come on.
We gonna look at some numbers. But we gonna
family.
try to figure. But I will say this, Portia, we got to figure out a way to get you down to this national battle of the bands, girl.
I'm trying, Jesus, but oh Lord.
Yes,
I'm gonna see. I'm
we
trying.
We gonna be there. But and like I said, we trying to figure out some other things, but that's gonna be in the future.
Yeah,
so
I'm trying. I actually looked at flights and hotels the other day. I just got to see if Jesus want me to go or not. I was balling out on this vacation, like, you know,
Right.
and then I'm getting ready to go to Philly for a week for Boulay. So if any sorors Zetas is gonna be in Philly for Boulay, holla at me. So I'm going to go to Philly for Boulay in 2 weeks. So
look at here. I understand the ball out because of New Orleans.
I looked at my bank statement. I said, girl, you just was doing whatever with your money, huh? All right.
Boy,
forget a vacation budget. All right.
I tapped that card so many goddamn times. Every time I beep, I just beep. All right.
Cool. See, the problem is not me paying to get there. The problem is that I'm gonna get down there and I'm gonna start having fun and I'm gonna go shoo again.
Yeah, because I'm telling you now, if you come to my city, bro, I'm not gonna just let you leave and just be on some regular stuff. And look,
see,
look.
I got to have a whole new budget for this trip. I know, but
I look business now. Like I didn't, my mama didn't, my daddy didn't move by my mama, so I can drop them children off to their grandparents, not just a grandparent. And me and the wife is gonna have a time.
Yeah, I looked at flights and hotels actually while I was on vacation, so I'm trying to make it happen. Okay. We'll see. More than likely, I'm coming, and I'm just gonna pray about it.
As a matter of fact, anybody who's watching right now, who's going to be watching later when you go and rewatch this broadcast, if you come into the National Battle of the Bands, man, let's try to do a meetup. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna try to put together a meetup and a link up with the Talk That Talk family, and we can just go and have a goddamn good time. Yeah. So Maya, don't be playing no games. Oh yeah, you were already back in Houston. Never mind. I thought you were still in Dallas. My bad. And 5 seconds, I forgot. All right, man. We got to get ready to get on out of here. Justin, are you gonna be in? Is he gonna be in? Justin, you gonna be at the National Battle of the Bands?
What he say? Any traditions y'all do at homecoming that I should know about? What you mean? As far as what marching band?
Eat and drink? Oh yeah, I'm about to say it.
I mean, well, MD Thursday, but we don't really open that up to the public. But
true. Oh, I will tell you this: if you go by the KK side joint, don't eat the fruit.
It'll kill you. It'll kill you. Do not do it. Don't. It's been soaking since last homecoming. It'll kill you. Okay.
Listen, I have as a chapter member, I'm telling you, don't. I made the mistake one time because I thought it was back during my clubbing days when we was doing the clubs, me and Custom, and we was doing clubs, right? And so I was like, man, my tolerance high. I'm good, man. I got this. And this was right after I came back from St. Croix. So, liquor I was used to drinking. Boy, I ate that goddamn fruit. I don't remember what happened for the next 5 hours. I can tell you that right now. I remember looking down in the sidewalk. That was the last thing I remember.
If you do eat one and then pause.
Yeah, you gonna have to sit down.
And then figure out if you should eat another one or not. I'm telling you, don't do it.
I ate a whole cup full.
We do pass and review every game. So that wouldn't be different for homecoming.
But yeah, oh yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
I can't really think of anything. I don't know. The only thing I do know is that after the band takes that bow, I'm going and fix my life. Okay, get away. I'm off work. Thank you. Have a nice day.
I'll be at the tailgate, Justin.
Right. I ain't going. I'm sorry, I'm not going to that game. I'm just gonna be quite honest with you.
No, they shut the tailgates down now. You got to go into the game during the. Yeah, they shut the tailgate.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They don't do that anymore. They don't do that anymore.
Okay. They don't. They realize they were smittying themselves.
No, yeah, it was a mess. But anyway, they don't do that no more. But what I used to do before I got on band staff, I would go to the game to end the halftime. Then I would just leave and go to the tailgates. But I gotta be there.
I ain't been.
I should give me a media pass.
To the homecoming.
Ask Kentucky State Flags to get you a media pass. How about that?
Ooh, my goodness!
Shots fired!
All right. Well, on that note, hey, I got to get that shirt by the way. On that note, man, let's get ready to shut this down. This has been a great episode, man. I am very pleased with how this came out, only because of the fact that I thought Rick was going to go completely off when I saw him down at the bottom, but he didn't. And it was I very good job, Rick. You did a great job of being very honest while yet keeping yourself composed. So proud of you, sir. Proud of you. All right, so let's get ready to get out of here, man. Any final thoughts? Anything you got for the culture, Maya?
Ooh, not today, Lord. I mean, that's another good one in the books. I'm still amazed that it's about to be a year, but yeah, I mean, it was just a good time.
And speaking of which, one of the things I was thinking about doing since we're coming up on a year is probably re-showing the first episode.
Oh God, please no.
Did you go back and look at that first episode?
I won't.
I look, me and the wife was looking at it. We couldn't stop laughing. I'm telling you, the first 10 minutes of the first episode is hilarious because all we were doing was trying to see if we could hear each other.
Can you hear me now? Hello? What about this? Is this okay?
It was trash. Oh my God. All right, Rick, any final thoughts anything you got for the culture?
Yeah, man, I got a couple of things actually. First and foremost, DCI season is in full swing. I will hope y'all. There's a lot of black people that are in DCI. There was an effort made by a lot of drum corps to get our people in there by us, and it's paying off. So I will hope that the same way we support these alumni corps or all-star bands during the summer, let's go support our African American brothers and sisters that are in these drum and bugle corps. There are shows throughout the United States that have people from like us. Once again, the cadets, their featured soloist is Rajel from Jackson State, University. Like we are in the activity, and it would be great for our community to come out and support these people that look like us in these shows. Just to let y'all know, I'm the only black caption head in DCI right now. Me and my boy Brian, we're the only ones because Spirit folded, and so it'd be great for some of y'all to
Spirit officially folded.
They're coming back, but this year they folded.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm about to say, all right.
So come out and support us, y'all. We could definitely use, I want to meet some of y'all. I'm not mean, y'all, I promise. All right, just play that on TV. But so come support us. I think you'll really like what you see. Carolina Crown. Oh my God, man. That show is incredible.
I saw that Keytar part that you were talking. Oh my God.
And the Blue Coast, yeah. There's some really cool stuff out there, y'all. So come check it out. Second part, y'all know I always like to give music. Domi and JD Beck got a new album coming out. If y'all never heard of them, they're like these teenage kids that are like they signed with Anderson .Paak and Thundercat. Like they're legit. So if you want to check them out, Kim Burrell, for all you gospel fans, she just released a new track and it's really good. And then just if y'all want something off the beaten path you've never heard of before, check out Theo Crocker. His new album is really good. He did a lot of features with some of your favorite singers, like Layla's on there. Who else is on? Jill Scott is on here. It's a lot of different people. So check out Theo Crocker's album. It's a jazz album, but it's got a lot of singing stuff. It's really good. And how I always close out, man. We can sit up here, we can criticize and all that. We can be critical of every facet of black culture, but the one thing we do on this show, we also social support to people that look like us. So while we can all be critical, let's all keep it civil and support our people, both financially as well as the culture. All right. Like it's important that we support the culture, but the culture doesn't move forward without dollars. So let's make sure we are supporting our people in every facet as we try to move the culture forward. So that's it.
Yeah, and I actually want to say this. I will be at the Denton show. I know I said that already. Quan will be at the Houston show, and I'm gonna try to get to the San Antonio show. So I'm trying to make sure that we are in all of these spaces, not just for myself, but for the show, the team, the channel, the network, all of that. Because I want to make sure that we show that we are equal opportunity.
Yeah.
as much as possible, man. So,
and yeah, to answer the question, Justin, yes, I will be I'll be at all the Texas shows. I'll be in the Atlanta area if anybody's going to the Atlanta regional. So I'll be in all the big shows. I'll be in Allentown. So if y'all want to come out, say hi, man, please come up. I'm the captain of the Mandarins, so look for the Mandarins. We're doing really well right now. The kids are playing well, so you'll get a good idea of hearing what I'm talking about when I'm on the show and what I stand for as a musical leader, man. So come check us out.
and I also want to say this. I saw Crystal put this up earlier about the weather here. Look at here. I was just in New Orleans, and in New Orleans, 80 degrees, maybe 90. Bro, I just went out today. It was 106 degrees, bro. 106 degrees. So, yeah, if you come in here for the national, daddy, like I told Crystal, dress accordingly, because yeah, it's tight. All right, Mandarins, Lamique, Mandarins. All right, Portia, any final thoughts? Anything you got for the culture?
I just want to say, Justin, I was joking. You know, you don't have to be a Silkette fan. I'll look out for you. You know, if you're coming to homecoming, I'll make sure you get a press pass and that you have a nice, good view. Okay.
Nope.
What happened?
No, you good. Go ahead.
I think we should just all need to focus on valuing one another, whatever that means, whatever our differences are. There's a market for all of it. There's a market for our culture. And though parts and pieces of it, you know, we may not agree with or may not be our cup of tea, there's still things that we can learn from it. There's still enjoyment that can be found in it. And we just have to look at being receptive to criticism, but also being staying true to who we are. And people need to find value in the differences that we have. That's all I got.
Oh, bet. Dang, I thought I hit the unmute button. All right. Man, this has been a super dope show. You guys are super awesome. I missed y'all, man. I felt like
it was kind of weird. It was weird.
It did start kind of weird. But I will say this, man. I have it pinned to the comments inside of the YouTube, man. You can pick up all your merchandise, man. Just type in Real Talk That Talk. This shirt is in there. American music is our music. There we go. American music is our music. I got the hoodie on, but we do have it in shirts, female and male sizes. So you can go ahead and pick that up. Also, please make sure, I forgot the joint. HBCU Band. Use a code HBCU Band and you can get 30% off of your purchase. So you are more than welcome to do that. We will have a show next week. Like I said, we are going to more or less take a hiatus unless y'all come and be like, man, we don't need y'all, man. I need y'all Wednesdays in my life. But if that's the case, and you can go ahead and send us an email right there. If you have any questions or topic suggestions, email us at realtalkthattalk@gmail.com. And we will be able to get back with you or at least respond to your request. I'll keep that scrolling down at the bottom. There we go. And you can also hit us up at the Instagram with Real Talk That Talk. I have nothing else. This has been a very great show. Please make sure you smash that like daddy on the way out. We will see you guys next week.